But you know what he doesn't have? And this is where it gets really interesting and important. He doesn't have one of those. He doesn't have a British passport. And this is what it's all about. Charlie Freak, as far as I can tell, lives in Mexico. So he doesn't even live in the US. He's not a British citizen. He's nothing to do with the Commonwealth or the 14 territories that go with it. So, who are you going to take your advice from? People that don't know Greg, who've never met him, who haven't spent the same amount of time with him, who are not British passport holders, have probably never been to the UK, and probably don't know anything about the 54 Commonwealth countries and the 14 territories and the millions of citizens that rely and depend on the United Kingdom to protect them with their military power, with their financial backing. Because if the British government, the crown falls, which it will, who is going to lead the country and understands the country and the needs of all the Commonwealth people, who they can rely on and know that they're going to be safe to be able to sleep in their beds at night and not be living in fear of being invaded.
Nice fear-mongering and deflection techniques there, David. But I'd like to point out something. I have got one of these. And also Justice has got one of these. Guys, ask yourself who is telling you that you should listen to them. Look into these people. I'm about to give you some help with that. Now, recently, David, you've been saying on one of your fan pages that I have no backbone as I didn't respond to your private message. Well, as you'll see later on in this video, I did put out on that same day you sent me the message a public response to you for you to answer to, which you did not. So you want a bit more of a clearer response? Okay, well, here we go.
Okay, guys, I am here with Justice. How you doing, Justice? Hey.
Good, my friend. All good.
Fantastic. It's great to finally get on camera with you. Obviously, I met you, I don't know now, probably a couple of months back almost.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months.
Yeah, and we've been kind of chatting since. The way I kind of found out about Justice first because he had done a video back when I was starting out trying to get to the bottom of this Greg Hallet thing, you know, this whole deception. And I found one of Justice's videos when you brought out, I think you brought out like 3 at the beginning, is that right? Talking about Greg. And then we got chatting. We were meaning to do this for a while, but things got in the way. But basically, I wanted to talk today, not just about Greg, but mainly about David Mahoney. Because you've had some run-in with David, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think, I had some early run-ins with David, but I think most people by now that have questioned this directly to the people who have had some sort of run-in with Mr. Mahoney. But yeah, I had some serious run-in with him quite early on, and it was pretty funny.
Well, he's a bit like Greg's bodyguard now, and I get the sense that after Greg's outbursts from obviously when my initial videos came out after interviewing Tom Cahill, which he really didn't like, and then Charlie Freak came out and said about this John Galt Q, big guy in the whole Q movement, saying, you know, who cares who Greg Hallet is, and then Charlie Freak kind of coming out saying he doesn't back him, basically. It kind of all that week went up in the air. You could see David was stressed. He put out 2 videos, one waving his passport around, which we'll talk about later, and one kind of just talking about trolls. You know, they were saying that deep state trolls were attacking them. They closed off all the comments from all of their fan pages and platforms. You know, they just like literally shut things down. And I get the feeling they've kind of said to Greg after a few outbursts, after insulting a lot of people and seeming like a whiny, you know, lost his temper basically, and just couldn't help but just throw insults after insults and slander after slander at people, and accuse them all of being deep state agents and just make himself look like a prat, really. I think that maybe the people behind him, like David, have said, you know what, let me talk about these. You don't need to address these attacks. But
yeah, he probably said that about him addressing them personally, to be fair, but none of them are clever at all. I mean, my first, as you I'd imagine most definitely know, my first initial run-in with David was definitely him jumping in super hot-headed, super angry, with no thought as to what was going on at all, because that's not the sort of thing that you do when you've invested in a documentary and you want to preserve its integrity. Do you know what I mean? He jumped on and attacked it quite in a mad way. But I feel like I've been attacked and abused by this man. What we have is David just absolutely the most slanderous stuff. So when I saw this, I couldn't actually believe it was from him. It was yeah, it got to me a bit, to be honest, when I read it from another person, thinking that he would have wrote that as some sort of a professional and a grown adult. But there we go, here we go. Let me break this down. Hey, Mahoney here. I'm the director producer, the Hidden King. I think he means of the Hidden King, obviously. The person who put this video up has a personal grudge against me. He's a young English mixed race guy whose logo is a jihadi terrorist. He wears a Muslim beard. Now, I don't have a personal grudge against him whatsoever. I am a young English mixed race guy. My logo wasn't a jihadi terrorist, and I have a beard, not a Muslim beard. I don't even know what a Muslim beard is, but anyways, I don't have a personal grudge against him, and I wondered, why would you mention me being a young English mixed race guy? That's part of the argument. He's a young English mixed race guy whose logo is jihadi terrorist. No, it's not. And I am a young English, well, relatively young-ish, but yeah, I was just like, what does that even mean? Why are you mentioning that? So yeah, he first contacted me. This is from David Mahoney, Digital Warrior Productions. He's actually wrote this out. It's unbelievable. He first contacted me, wanted an interview. After reviewing his content, which is very negative and extremely 3D, I politely declined his interview, which enraged him. All evidence available. So that first sentence there, he contacted me and wanted an interview, is not true. The first point of contact was made on my channel, on my video about David Mahoney. He somehow stumbled across it, watched it, and couldn't contain himself but to write on.
But basically, one of the worst things was the insults and how he went straight to kind of, it was all very childish, and it was, well, for lack of, it was racist. You know, the first thing he said is, oh, you know, you look like a jihadi or something, and he's got a Muslim beard. So like, it's almost like, why would I talk to him if he has, I don't, like you said in the video, I don't even know what it is. It's just a beard. Then he said something like mixed race and things like that. And it's just like, why do you need to put those comments in there that have no relevance to your argument of, it wasn't like, why would I want to speak to someone who has sort of made fun of me on their channel or something like that? No, it went straight to kind of racist remarks and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I often find it difficult unless someone's like punched you in the face because of your colour or something.
Yeah.
To call someone a racist, but yeah, everyone seems to agree pretty much.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you couldn't, to be honest. I mean,
it would be quite difficult not to. Yeah. It's weird because obviously in my videos, any of them, I'm addressing stuff from their biblical interpretation, referencing. I don't deal with Islam, unfortunately. So
yeah.
That's not something I deal with. So wherever he got that from, I mean, I think it was my profile picture at the time. To be fair, but again, that's a falasha Israelite soldier, a warrior. Nothing to do with the Middle East at all. That image that I had before, yeah, I've changed it now so that none of these fools can chat shit. But the image that you can see here, that one there, that was a falasha warrior that fought against, you know, so it's an Israelite warrior that fought against Mussolini and the fascist dictatorist forces that tried to infiltrate Ethiopia and Eritrea and failed every time. So yeah, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever. If anything, it's a Christian warrior, ancient Jewish warrior. So yeah, don't chat shit, man. Yeah, the Eritrean, Ethiopian, ancient sect of Jews. But yeah, that's a different historical matter altogether. And it definitely, I don't know why he would have thought that. I think he tries to appeal to a certain type of audience, and that's the kind of patriotic. I think he's kind of took the patriotic thing from Q, you know, and tried to tie it to England and the sort of Tommy Robinson type dudes. He's trying to just be like, look, he might be a Muslim, so fuck him. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not talking to him. He could be a Muslim.
That's,
like, well, I could be a
the
Muslim.
only thing I can really think, because I mean, he said, obviously he said like, some mixed race guy, again, the Muslim beard. Not that I think even Muslims have Muslim beards. I don't know. I'll have to ask one, but I don't think so. I think they're just beards still.
Yeah, they're still beards.
Person.
I don't think they're like they're shaped into a Muslim style or anything like that. I think
I don't know. Essentially, yeah, he approached me and he wrote on my platform. You can see that I've not contacted him before. It's on my platform, on my video, and he wrote to me first saying, if you want to chat, after reviewing his content. So he saw my content first and then said that he wanted to chat. So that's wrong. He didn't review my content, and the later on comments will show that he hasn't gone and reviewed my content at all. Negative and extremely 3D. Oh, David, you're such a 5D light being. I politely declined. Okay. He politely declined. You didn't even speak to me politely the first time you engaged with me, and I didn't speak to you. So you spoke to me first and wasn't polite. And we'll see who was polite the whole time, you know. You're going to have to provide some screenshots on that, because people are going to bust you up for this, bruv. You can't escape justice. That was pretty corny, but anyways. I felt like David then. Mad corn. He would definitely use that. He would definitely use that if he had my name. If he was using my name on YouTube, he'd be like, you can't evade justice all the time. Way. Anyways, he then started a hatred campaign against Charles Ward and myself in particular, which I've now taken legal steps against him. Legal steps. Oh, amazing. Right, so this was written 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago, yeah. He's made no legal steps against me whatsoever, and again, I'll show you in a moment what's popping here and what claims he has made. And he can't even get past the first hurdle and understand copyright law in the UK, but whatever. Right, all of these, he's not made one correct claim yet. He hasn't even wrote who he is properly. The Hidden King, like, you're not Hidden King. You haven't made one actual correct claim here at all, other than I'm a young-ish, English-ish mixed race guy. So that's the only claim you've made so far that's been true. I mean, you can call it a hatred campaign, but you're kind of like that's subjective if you want to view my critical content as hate. If you take it as hate, then that's cool, but you just sound like one of these LGBTQ, LVW, left-wing, social justice wetties who just wants to cry, you know? It's not a hatred campaign, mate. That was like a comedic type video. You got all butthurt about it. Not my fault. It's not a hatred campaign. I don't hate you. I even said that I actually said that in the video. I said it. I actually said it. Mental. He sounds poorly educated, in my opinion, angry at the world, and is using our positive energy to turn good people towards the dark. Now, you can't say he wears a Muslim beard and then say he sounds poorly educated, in my opinion. Your opinion becomes irrelevant after that. Angry at the world. Are we not all doing this because we're a bit pissed with the world? Not like the world itself, as in Gaia, whatever you want to call it, Mother Nature. Yeah. I'm not talking about nature. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the world system. Is that not why you're doing any of this? Because you're a bit angry at the world system that it's not right? Or is it just that you found some guy who made a pretty cool story and you're not actually angry at the world at all because it's provided you with quite a nice lifestyle and you just sit in the south of Spain, apparently for 16 years, and don't learn the language and just sip wine? Do you really hate the world then? Do you hate the world the way it is? Do you hate the powers that should not be? Because I have hatred for them and the false way that they perpetuate upon the whole of our societies, even the ones that aren't, you know, directly engaged with this Western world. You know, they suffer the effects. And so, yeah, I'm angry at the whole system and the obedience of everyone to just comply with it. And if you're not, I'd question why. Your energy is positive in a way on the surface. You know, if it's giving people hope,
then meh, you could say it's positive. But false hope, they say I wrote on a comment the other day. They said negativity and fear, blah 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 blah. But that's no worse or no better than false hope and blind faith in totally unsubstantiated bullshit. Yeah, it's like you may as well be super scared of the virus and watch BBC News and wear a mask if the only thing that's giving you hope is this weird goatee sporting, flicky moustache wearing, devilish prick. But other than that, I'm done with this. It's fraud, it's stupid, and these people are silly. They got no idea what they're talking about. The perversion of common law, the perversion of historical events, the manipulation of all of these things. Greg has no interest in any of this 3D behaviour, clearly. That would mean some level of accountability and facing some scrutiny, wouldn't it? Rather than just rambling bullshit about this key that I got and I was initiated into the house of David. Like, bro, that isn't a thing that you can do. Why I'm just so confused. I hear him say stuff and I'm like, why aren't you asking how that's possible? Why that's possible? Where did it happen? Does he have any sort of even anything near to any evidence of it happening? No, he just sucks in these stories over a cup of coffee like he's got fucking mental disease in there or something. It's crazy. The production was about Greg speaking, and that's all. Yeah, you're damn right. It was literally just Greg speaking. There was no lies, no tricks, no Hollywood, and no fucking investigation. Pure, straightforward, truthful. I mean, the production, again, like the use of words here even, the truthful production. So the production itself is transparent because they aren't editing what Greg's saying. That much is true. They're it's a clear cut run through. So yeah, the production might be truthful, but what Greg says in the production is bullshit. Work which I paid for myself. The GoFundMes, you've took money off people, you and Charlie, and David is claiming that he doesn't even know anything about Charlie's money and that they're not really partners like that. But we'll get into that in a minute. So he did all this for free. That Freemasonic philanthropy. I gave you something for free, so how dare you criticise me? You're free to make your own mind up, clearly, but I welcome any direct messages to show you the evidence. Please, everyone bombard him, yeah? And get him to show any evidence, right? Get him to show you anything that I've done that has been abusive and violent or whatever towards him, right? So anyways, you'll be shocked at the messages he sent. Oh, I don't know why people do this. Like, I don't have messages from him. Like, it's crazy. Threats of violence and aggression. And this is where it relates back to the whole thing with him. He's a young English mixed race guy whose logo is jihadi terrorist. I'm thinking, what does me being a mixed race guy have anything to do with it? And then boom, threats of violence and aggression. It's BLM written all over him because he obviously has some chip on his shoulder about us and what we're doing. It's BLM written all over him because he obviously has some chip on his shoulder. Like, that is so fucking... I put my views out here, yeah. I get abused by white people, black people, fucking Q heads, King John's fans. I'm very, very rarely... I've been well abrupt lately, and I need to get off the comment sections more and just keep making content, to be honest. But, yeah, I've been a bit more abrupt and straight to the point and maybe a bit forward sometimes in my approach to certain people in comment sections and stuff. But that's only been like the last couple of weeks when this shit's just been getting a bit like... people are defending it way too much, and I've been on it too much just to investigate. It's so blatant to me now. It's extremely infuriating to be spoken to in certain ways. So anyways, I put myself out there and put my opinions out about BLM and these things here. We had an hour-long live stream regarding my thoughts about BLM. Obviously, a lot of you say that I speak sense and whatnot. regarding a lot of these issues.
But yeah, he then said something about he's got BLM written all over him, which I mean, the articulate, I don't know whether he did mean that as maliciously as it might come across. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like what possessed him to articulate it in that fashion. But again, if he'd have just scrolled down, which I'm sure he did anyway, so I don't know why he said it, but if he'd have just scrolled down, I think I've had like an hour-long chat regarding my views on that and broke it down and exposed that. I've been to marches. You can watch like 3-hour live streams of me at the BLM march. You won't hear me shout or scream or promote nothing at all. I was there purely to document, as any other person that was citizen journalist type persona would be doing.
Sure.
So yeah, my support and my feelings towards that stuff has been clearly outlined. So where he got that from, again, it's just so easy. I've had so much stick off of people that believe this stuff that, again, could have just come onto my platform, scrolled down and been like, oh, fucking hell, there's something called BLM here, let me have a look at this. And
again, it's all about doing your research, and
it's so easy to do most of the time as well. It's
for someone to say something like it's BLM written all over him after apparently looking at my channel and being able to say that, you know, his channel's all about Greg, blah, 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 which he has, then it's a bit disheartening, you know. It's like, what the fuck do I even bother saying my thoughts for if people are just going to attack me and come with 47 likes out of, you know, 215 comments on this whole video? If he can just discredit me that easily, what's the point of me even bothering? But obviously, we know the point. I know the point. I don't let it get to me too hard. It's just, it's just unreal sometimes. So Musa Hussein said, you have to hear both sides of the story. Don't believe anything everyone says. I'm sure the guy did contact Mahoney and ask some questions, but Mahoney had blocked him. So please don't believe everything you hear or see. There is 3 sides to every story. Both defend themselves, and then there's the truth. So yeah, big up Musa, I suppose. David says the same. But fact find before making up your mind, I agree. So why did you not bother going and looking what my thoughts are regarding BLM, Mr. David? Why are you mentioning a Muslim beard before even knowing if that's a thing? I don't even think that, I mean, you can be Muslim and have a beard, but I don't think that makes your fucking hair follicles themselves Muslim. Like, bumbleclot. It's mad. I blocked him because he's insulting and unstable. You know? I don't doubt that he felt insulted. That's part of the comedy. You know? That's part of all of this stuff. We have to be offended and insulted sometimes. And it's just funny. If you're promoting this stuff about a new king, you have to expect some flack, bruv. All I said is David molested by the gods Mahoney on my video. That's what it was titled. Mad funny. I thought, hilarious. You said that you get played with by the gods. Don't come into these realms with spiritual people that, you know, are high on those things within terms of importance, you know, the use of wording and stuff, and then get butthurt when someone picks you up on it. It's just funny. It's not a big deal, mate. I don't actually think the gods have actually molested you. Like, it's fucking hell. So, yeah, he's blocked him because he's insulting and unstable. And as well, you know, this is the thing. If he's coming as like a light being, you know, he's a good spiritual guy. If I am like depressed or down or whatever, or, you know, we're all struggling with this stuff to varying degrees. But yeah, reading that isn't very nice, I can tell you. Especially from someone that's, you know, such a highly accredited, highly esteemed type figure within all this stuff, you know, wants to put himself on a pedestal of being up there in the truther realm and making these films and stuff. So yeah, that's not a very nice thing to say, bro, at all.
Basically, how I got into it was, I don't know how, obviously they was promoting all this matter. I think Charlie Ward's YouTube channel might have popped up on my thing, right? So I'm looking at this guy, and this is before, he was definitely, I'm pretty sure he was below 10k subs at the time. Yeah, and I saw this stuff about the King documentary ready to come out, and obviously all these different guys that are involved in it. And like you say, seen in your video with Rice Crispy and the other guy, extraordinary claims such as this need extraordinary evidence, you know, or extraordinary proof. And he had none. And in terms of the biblical stuff that he was saying, and the historical things, everything he was saying, and the way it was presented and the evidence and proof that was provided, I instantly call bullshit on it. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Do you know what I mean? But I'm 90 to 99% sure that I'm definitely not wrong more time in these situations. And at the time as well, it didn't really make any difference as to how much of an agent he was. He could have been the full-on antichrist. He could have ascended the throne for all I cared at the time. It's still false doctrine. Do you know what I mean? That's how I decipher these things. Really, is down to what doctrine they're pushing. So yeah, breaking it down, I called bullshit on it. And after that, really, after those first videos on Greg calling bullshit on it, really, it was just fun. The video about David, that, do you know what I mean? It's like, you can tell by the title, it's not serious, but the way he's reacted and the way that they've responded, they're all very childish and strange in their own ways.
Yeah, so
everyone that's involved is very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, so I said about Greg being hot-headed in response, but yeah, David, this video is about kind of showing like David's hot-headed responses as well. And, you know, I'll get into why I'm making this video later, but we'll start it all started for you with making a video called Molested by the Gods. And that is what David lost his rag about. And it started because, what was it, a bio on his actors?
His IMDb profile, which is I think it's the internet, or might be the international movie database, right, where they have all the actors and their movie roles and blah, 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 blah. And on his professional bio, it said that the gods play with me.
David Mahoney, this geezer. He's been in loads of films. I thought I recognised him. Rise of the Foot Soldier, tons of other films. He's been in and around Hollywood, the chosen tool of those practitioners of the ancient witchcraft, magic. But yeah, he's been in and around them circles. So, you know, again, already some minor alarm bells where you're thinking, shmee. It's a bit of a mad one, but nevertheless, you know, we don't just on these things. Delve a little deeper. So we come to his IMDb page. But yeah, this is how easy it is and how quick it is, you know, to discern and to highlight these characters and what they're about. David was born in the UK and everything seems brilliant. So you go to what he says about himself. Did you know? Trivia. He enjoys ADV adventure, motorcycles. Quotes. Now, this is something that you'd be saying about yourself. Anything that you say about yourself, you know, the one thing that you're going to say about yourself on your IMDb profile as a professional. And he says, in this life, I believe that the gods play with me. Oh. I laugh, David, you know, to a degree. I wouldn't say it's hilariously entertaining, but I have to find some enjoyment in doing this. But yeah, the personal quotes, the first line he decides to go with, there's things you should know about him. In this life, I believe in that the gods play with me. David, I'm molested by gods, Mahoney.
So I'm like, obviously looking at all of this stuff to do with Greg and his claims to do with the Bible. Obviously, I'm looking at it from like a religious doctrinal point of view. You know, what do these guys, what do they prescribe to? So I'm looking at his IMDb profile and I just thought of all the things you could have said in the first line. It says the gods play games with me or something. Or it's the gods play with me. Right? It was the gods play with me. And I was just like, yeah, that's funny, man. That's some funny shit. So doing a video on David Mahoney and his background, blah, blah, blah. I just thought that was a funny title. David, molested by the gods, Mahoney. And yeah, he somehow found my video. You know, I think, this hasn't got me like a lot of subscribers, but at the time, probably had just under 3K.
Yeah.
And yeah, he jumped on my channel. Obviously, his platform at the time definitely had over 6, and Charlie's was probably over 10 at that point. Yeah, he just jumped on my platform and wrote the most mad message about how I'm an armchair coward, chat crap, put my mask back on, everything they say is true, just ruthless random shit. And I was obviously just like, wow, this guy's actually responded. So beforehand, I would have had no thought as to, I can get an interview with these dudes, or I can interact with these guys. But out of nowhere, the actual fucking director producer finds my channel and comes and comments on it. I'm like, whoa. And he says in it, if you want to chat about any questions, queries you've got, then give me a shout, and I'll be happy to give you an interview when I'm back. So I was like, wow, cool. That's awesome, man, because I've got a shitload of questions. So that'd be really good. And yeah, I proceeded to shout him on a few different platforms. I messaged him on Instagram, Twitter, DM'd him on Twitter, and messaged him, just tweeted him. And yeah, he responded a couple times, but none of them were nice. None of them were good. And none of them were saying, yeah, I will speak to you.
So this, as far as I know, is my first interaction, or David's first interaction with me. But yeah, I did this video and then he commented on it. I think it's hilarious using this as a chance to gain viewers. I've never hidden my film work. I wasn't trying to expose your non-hidden film work, as I've said before, but the gods play games with me. Games. And again, he changed it to say games. That can be proven and shown in my video. He watched my video, got butthurt, saw that it was weird, and changed it to the gods play games with me, which doesn't make it look any better, but still. He says, if you have any issues, I'll gladly come discuss it with you when I'm back next. So you can clearly see here, it's not me that asked for an interview, it's not me that asked for a chat. He says, if you have any issues, I'll gladly come discuss it with you when I'm back next. I bet you wouldn't show up. Armchair cowards love posting crap. Put your mask back on, mate, and grow a pair. And another thing to note here as well is that my video regarding the Ghislaine Maxwell Gregory Hallet link has 10,000 views, and it had 8 or 9 at the time of him writing this a couple of weeks ago. But he doesn't comment on my video. Even though he's not blocked from my channel, I'm not blocked from his channel, he can come and view it. He doesn't comment on my video. He comments on a lady's video talking about my video with a couple thousand views in it. Don't make no sense, but if you have any issues, I'll gladly come discuss it. Mad. So yeah, I thought I'd holler at him, and I'm not too sure if he replied here, but I was really, really keen to talk to him after he said that, obviously, because I'd wanted to talk to Charlie. No luck, and he said that he's interested, so I'm like, whoa, sick. Now this is my first address to him. Hi David, I run a YouTube channel, Justice, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. Many thanks and kind regards. Hi David, just a double blam. Glam, I meant blam. If you could get back to me on your offer, it'd be amazing. Thank you a lot. Hi David, Justice here. I wrote you on Instagram before I double up. I'm just writing regarding your comments, expressing interest to chat, and would absolutely love the opportunity whenever it is you're back. If you could get back to me in any which way, that'd be great. Yeah, it wasn't me that approached him. I've been totally cordial, super nice and friendly the whole time. And yeah, he's calling me, oh, it's hilarious, you're trying to gain viewers. I don't care about gaining viewers off this, bro. I just don't want people that are already viewers of your stuff falling for it, because it's bullshit. It's all mad accusations. I'm not Muslim. My beard isn't Muslim. So this is his reply on Twitter, one of his replies. I appreciate you're curious, but I have a problem with your content, which he didn't have a problem with my content before when he was writing that shit about it, saying, oh, you're just trying to gain viewers, and say, oh, if you want to chat, then I'm here, but you're an armchair coward. You're wearing a jihadi outfit. Not true, bruv. Why are you making that up? And yesterday, video you posted, I think we're on different paths. I'm not sure what you are, is being honest, or, yeah. I'm putting my name and face out there, presenting an amazing story to humanity for no financial gain. It cost me over 50k euros to make this, and now give it away for free, the Freemasonic philanthropy. This is my choice. You approach things the wrong way by taking content which has a positive message and used it in a negative. This is terrible karma for you. I wish you luck and hope you find the right path.
Right, so moving on, then you made a video, you made a couple of videos. So you made David Mahoney's Baloney, and that was talking about the whole run-in with David and what's been going on, wasn't it? And it wasn't that video, it was the other video you made, which caused quite a stir, which was the Ghislaine Maxwell connection. So yeah, you made a few more videos. You made one that was David Mahoney's David Mahoney's
Phony Baloney.
and then you made one on Ghislaine Maxwell connection as well. And in one of those, the Ghislaine Maxwell one, you also caused a big stir with that because Greg was saying, look, I have no direct connection with Ghislaine Maxwell. However, his UK producer is, for a fact, Jack Kidd connected to Jacob Rothschild, and through Gemma Kidd is connected to Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Through that company. That's right. So that's a fact. However, obviously it upset these boys. But the thing that really upset David, or one of the things that upset David was you had a look into some things that were easily found online. So you just said, go on Google, look what I found. You said, I'm not saying that he has done this, but you had a look at this Coconut Grove. Lots of complaints on scam awareness websites with David Mahoney's name, talking about him in selling land in a place called Coconut Grove.
Yeah, man, Brazil.
Turned out to be which they say on these complaints. Don't trust him. He took money off of us, and then he didn't actually. He sold on the land and then changed his business name. Blah, blah, blah. There's more on there as well. One about someone bought a car off him and it turns out it was stolen.
There's land, houses, vehicles, all sorts of stuff. But basically, like you say, I put the video out there because you type his name into Google, come across a website like that. It's a dubious website, granted. I don't know if you've gone into it anymore.
I've got into it, but it's not just that one USA complaints website. There is multiple scam awareness websites. I'm talking like 3 or 4 that all have him, and they're all saying the same thing on them. So it's not just like it's one website.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to just be one person either, although some of them look like it's the same person's gone on multiple, some of them's like got block capitals throughout the whole of it.
Yeah. So this is what I mean.
Them two are the same guy, but they're not all the same people, I don't think.
As far as proof goes, it's relatively dubious. I've had people tell me that he's served jail time with, there's a guy called James Scurra, I think.
Yeah.
There's someone else that's involved as well. So there's a few dudes involved in this group of property, land, vehicle salesmen that are said to be common. And yeah, I haven't found too much on the jail time or any court cases or anything. He uses the name David G. Mahoney and David O. Mahoney. So fuck knows if he's got another name or whatever. But yeah, my point with the video really is that it was just strange. If you go into Google and type in my name or your name or anyone that's watching this video's name, I would imagine everyone go and type in your names into Google and see if you come up on a scam website for selling weird property and land and vehicles and scamming people, because I bet you it won't. And me coming across that and coming across this whole thing and knowing that they have to have some sort of a motive behind doing this, whether David thinks he's really, really found the new king of England, whether he thinks it's a good money thing, whether he thinks this is going to be his big Hollywood break and it's his best production ever. I don't quite know, and I still don't quite know.
Well, is the thing, is we, from the information that we've managed to find out, we believe that not only is this a deception, but this could be a big scam, right? So when then you type in the producer, the director, the guy that's putting money into making this documentary, who's backing him, avidly backing him, is kind of like his right-hand man, and you type in his name and it comes up with hundreds of scams that have happened, right? Alarm bells have got to ring, even if they're not.
I want to bring our attention to this from David Mahoney, usacomplaints.com. Now, I'm not expressing any sort of accusations here. I'm just reading from a website. This is usacomplaints.com, customer complaints and reviews. And here we have David Mahoney, Coconut Grove, James Scurra, Steve Nash, and a load of fraud or allegations of fraud. So we've got this one here. Just pause it and read that. And there is hundreds more. First scam, Coconut Grove, Mahoney, David Mahoney. There is hundreds of these.
But then I did look into it further, and I found out that David actually works for a place called Marbella Estates. Up at the top of this,
the one.
Yeah. He sells land and property, So, you know, these scams that we found, you know, later gone and find out, well, that's actually is what he does or what he did.
It's not unfounded, man. That's what I mean. It's not pulled out of thin air. These things, this is what he does. He claims, I mean, even himself, he claims he's a fixer. So
Yeah.
in English terms, you know, that's providing certain things for certain positions. But yeah, it's they all have relatively mysterious backgrounds and occupations that they don't tend to delve into very much. I mean,
we can talk about the other guys more another time. You know, I touched on Jack Kidd. I'm trying to stay on topic with David.
Yeah.
You know, I'll quickly just say before I move on to the next bit I want to talk about that, you know, we were talking about his kind of hot-headedness and his response to you. And it's important, I've said this before about Greg, it is important to see how people react to these situations. And it is important to look at, you know, how they think and how they act, their behaviour.
Credibility completely lies in how you handle yourself, do you know what I mean?
If you're going to be put on the biggest stage in the world, right, and you want, and David, you know, is the right-hand man of this guy. So I was talking about Greg before, you know, if you're going to put him on the throne, you know, and you look at his behaviour, is that the sort of king that you want to put your trust in, right? And then you've got David and his own behaviour. Is that the sort of right-hand man, the king's right-hand man that you want? Do you want these two, you know, these two?
Well, he's sort of promoting himself as not just a director producer, but as someone that ultimately, at the end of the day, regardless of anything, wants to bring you guys 100% truth. And that clearly isn't his aim, whether it's because because I don't even know if he has actually spent 50 grand on it. I don't know. Yeah. I would find it hard to pinpoint where that money could have gone, £50,000 on that stuff, whether it's just the hiring, the hotels and stuff, or what, I'm not too sure. I'd like to see some evidence of his money spending on it. But
well, you say that, and that will onto the next point, but I did want to show you something quickly first, but onto the next point about him fundraising for the making of these documentaries, right, which he obviously denied, but he kind of I'll go into that in a minute, but because he talks to me about that, right? Just going back to the kind of behaviours and insults, I want to kind of show there was one guy that got hold of me, and he was in contact with David, and then he started to think, you know, in these messages with him, that he didn't conduct himself very, very well, and you know, these insults again were coming out, and you know, he just thought, actually, this guy doesn't seem genuine. He does seem like a bad guy, you know, and he's not answering any of the questions, which I'm saying, you know, it's important to, as a believer, because he was a believer, to answer these tough questions, you know, so I can carry on believing. And David didn't like that. So
big respect to this guy for sharing this as well.
Yeah, he did actually say, have you seen Justice's video? Because he's come up with a few things that are questionable, which you need to address. Yeah, he basically kind of shoots that down. I'll show you here now. He's messaged him and he said, "Oh, that's not my scene, doesn't agree with me," sort of thing, talking about you and your videos. And he says, "This is the guy that makes those videos. He's got a personal vendetta for some reason. I declined him for an interview with him because he looks so jihadi." That's what he's saying is the reason. I mean, he does say he doesn't agree with me, but then he kind of says, "I declined an interview, not because we have journalistic differences, or he declined an interview with you because you look so jihadi, apparently." And that, for me, is just, again, it just supports kind of how he was behaving on your YouTube, or on talking about your video when he was talking about you. So there's just another instance of him just being a dick. And then you've got, you know, you better address this, that I've just been sent. These people are unbelievable. And obviously at this point, the guy fully believes this great deception. I'm not going to address anything. This black kid, why he had to put black, I don't know. This black kid has got some personal vendetta against me and is clearly being paid off. So you're a deep state agent as well. Again, it's another.
Mate, I'm in there with the princes of paedophilia, according to the king, and they've both got legal action pending against me. But yeah, why he had to say that, I don't know. Like I say, I feel like he's definitely trying to draw a certain type of crowd in. You know, he's got a certain demographic he wants to reach.
It's nasty, man. It's like, you know, there's no need for it. Like, he could have said all of these things without the insults in them, but he's obviously got he's emotionally, I don't know, riled by your work. Which,
yeah, I mean, it's paranoia. It's because even if you know, you just think, yeah, he's a trippy little stoner, he don't know nothing about nothing, he's chatting shit, then that's fine. But clearly being paid off, that's not showing much of a level of discernment to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you go back through my videos, I've shown nothing that would indicate that I'm being paid for anything much at all. Really,
it's kind of like their emergency stop button, isn't it? It was the same when I brought out
100%, and it
like,
just makes you look paranoid and crazy, because if you instantly want to be like, yeah, everyone against me is with the Prince of Paedophilia and the dark side, and they are all deep state agents, they are all being paid off. Like, how how big is the deep state? Like, you guys are all fucked if the deep state is this big. Trust me. Not that I believe in the deep state, but if the deep state were a thing like that, then they would be fucked, because everyone is in it. If you question them, you're in it.
I mean, I think it's very possible they could have these government shills in doing these videos, right? But as I said in my,
they do 100%. I've exposed quite a lot of them. You know, people want to infiltrate. This is why I question their motives, especially Charlie Ward and the like, because it is a real thing that happens. 77th Brigade, all these different factions. There is a whole lot of infiltration in these underground. I mean, within the auditing community, I mean, there's a dude called Louis D. You know what I mean? There's weird people and serious high-level government infiltration into these underground sort of journalistic realms of various degrees. You know, whether it's conspiracy or just straight journalism. But these sorts of realms here are often infiltrated by government factions, and so like Charlie Ward especially, do you know what I mean, having his background that he does certainly rings alarm bells for me as to what his actual motive is. David less so, you know. Him, I mean, Greg's clearly a bit fucking doolally, do you know what I mean? David is either monetarily invested in this and is just clutching onto straws like, no, I can't lose my 50 grand, or he's just dumb as shit. Like, neither of those things are. It might just be a balance of both, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Stupid, so he invested a load of money. I don't know, but overall, these things do happen. There is real infiltration into these realms, and people really do feed you information for purposes, especially these dudes that come with shit like, yeah, I've got inside information. You know what I mean? It's like, they have inside information because they come from the inside, bro.
Come from exactly the people that they're saying that they're against. But you know, the point that I made in my interview with Rice Crypto was when he asked if I was a deep state agent, you know, would they use someone who was unknown? I've had a YouTube channel less than a month, right? Or would they use someone? And I said, with 132,000 odd subscribers, and I don't know if anyone caught that, but Charlie Ward, who you said had less than 10,000 at that time, you know, he's now up to, I think, 132k, you know, from what he's done since meeting Greg.
I think it might be up to 160. I might be chatting shit, but I think it might be up to 160.
I mean, even so, who are they going to push information through? People with a couple of thousand viewers? No, they're gonna look for the people with the big following. So anyway, moving on from that, this whole kind of government shills thing, because you know, it's kind of like I said, an emergency stop button for them. Like, okay, I can't bother to address this anymore. I don't have the answers to these tough questions. Bang, emergency stop. This guy's a deep state agent. I'm not going to answer him. And that's just their get out of jail free card, as they think it is. But
this is the thing that done it for me, is the fact that David, on his first, you know, I didn't contact him. I didn't even want to speak to the dude particularly. I just made a video because it was funny. At that time, they was all done for me. That story was already gone. I probably wouldn't have even addressed it again had he not addressed me. It was just jokes at that point, really.
Yeah.
But he came to me out of nowhere to my small ass little channel and was like, yeah, if you want to speak, we can speak. I'm like, yeah, 100%. That would be awesome.
Set it up.
Exactly. That'd be super, super. I would love that. And then no. So
because when you called him, when you asked him on every platform to do it, he's like, nah, not. I like to do it, but when you step up to the plate, I'm not going to go through with it because it's not going to do him any benefit, is it? Because you're blatantly going to call him out and stuff, and he's not going to have a good answer for it. But anyway, moving back to this, the last line I didn't say, and why this had to be in there. The ugliest guy I've ever seen, man.
You know
he
what?
has it out for you.
That probably comes from, he was probably there with either his missus or something, or I don't know, he's probably gay with Lee, I don't know. He's probably there with Carrie Cohan or something like that, and he was like, had his phone out, screwing at his phone, like, all angry and that, and his missus walked past him and was like, oh, he's cute. He's like, fuck, what? So he's probably angry at me for some reason, bro. It's a bit deeper than, it's a bit deeper.
It's bad. It's bad. I just wanted to show that because it just shows, the kind of behaviour that comes from this guy when he's left unchecked. He's probably had a couple of beers and he's just let his normal kind of talk come out rather than his restricted on the camera talk. This is the real David, which is why I'm doing this video. So
they all love the alcohol way too much, brother. Like I can guarantee a lot of these things he's doing here are under the influence. He doesn't seem to be able to spell very good either. Something I noticed.
Well, you can tell in some of the videos he's slurring, and especially I want to go into it now. This week we talk about where it all kind of fell apart. He came on to 2 videos, and one of them they were all drinking.
It's the 21st of August, and the last few days have been a bit hard on our group because there's been a lot of rumours about division. So my message is, you will never break us. All you trolls out there that think you can send messages and videos and do all your little links and steal all the material, you're never going to break what we have, and this is what we have. The legend Lee Dawson, Charlie Ward, and Jack Kidd. Hey! What are we? We're powerful together. So all you trolls out there, you keep trying, it ain't going to work. Bring it on.
The other one, he was slurring his words, he was angry, he was frustrated. But, I'm not going to call the man out. I like a drink myself, but it's worth noting that it's probably more.
It's all good, but they're all on it heavy, bruv. Like, they're all sipping Charlie's secret sauce.
Secret sauce.
The neuro.
Anyway, look, I brought out my channel, just over 3 weeks ago, I think. And literally, I got a response. We won't go too much into Greg's response, but I will touch on it in a minute. But I did interviews with a guy that Greg lived with for 4 months and was friends with for years, Tom Carhill. I also did interviews with his sisters. And basically, I came out of nowhere for them. I also went to Buckingham Palace. Check out my channel, guys, if you've seen this video for the first time. But I set up a YouTube channel and dropped like 7 videos on there. Bang, put them all out there. And one of them as well showed Greg just pointlessly insulting people, or not pointlessly, it was his sisters and his family, but just he kept saying over and over and over and over again, how ugly they were. It was pointless. It was just a scorned man, just making a prat of himself. And you can see Charlie Ward looking really uncomfortable in that video. So check out that video. It's called Greg Hallet showing his true colours. Anyway, so then after that happened, lots of their fans started saying, this is around the same time they cut the posts off and told everyone to go into one fan group. So Greg went onto every single page about him and said, everyone, these pages aren't run by me and my crew. I want all of you to go onto the official King's Patriot group, because that's where we can be overlords over you and the information that's sent there, and we can get rid of anyone that questions me. So everyone went, all right then, we trust you. We'll all go there. So they all went there. They cut off all the comments and stuff for a while, or a lot of their posts. And then I received this from David. I can't do his voice, but I've been getting a lot of complaints about you and your weird messages. Seeker of truth. Lol, you're spreading lies, mate. There's no one paying for any of the programs or charging anything. It's free. If you have any questions, ask me, and I'll be very straight with you. But now everyone knows what you're up to. So that was David's message to me, and I didn't reply to him. I chose to make a public reply. And in that public reply, I wrote a letter to David and Greg, because Greg also reacted badly and started insulting Tom Cahill, and just saying things like he's a short man of 5'9", and they used to call him Piss Pants Tom, and all these stupid insults that, you know, it was just to try and bite back, really, but it just come across really badly. So anyway, I wrote a letter to them. Here's my letter to them. Dear Mr. Mahoney and Lord Chancellor, I would like to address your recent claims I'm spreading lies. David, you say you're getting a lot of complaints. I would love to read those messages. What are people saying? Are they worried that Greg's real character profile and contradicting lies are getting exposed? I'm spreading lies about fundraisers being set up for the video making. Please see below a fundraiser you set up for the creation of a documentary on Greg, and also your donate page on Digital Warriors. I never said you had to pay to watch the film. You are lying by making it seem to others that I made that false claim. You say now everyone knows what you're up to. What, you mean exposing Greg's lies in the hope that some of the people he's still managing to affect have a full picture of Greg and can hopefully protect themselves from further mental, emotional or financial abuse at the hands of this man? Good. I want people to know what I'm doing.
Oh.
Lord Chancellor, to call me a pathological liar is rich. Was this because I made a video showing you lying and the manipulation techniques you use? You lied before. You told many lies over the years. You're making up a new lie daily. What about the time you asked for 2,700 of people's hard-earned money for documents and then decided to spend it on something else, not as promised? I think that was on a new server. And then you said you were needing another 2,700 for the aforementioned reason. Please stop selling these lies. It's hurt people. It's hurt people I know, and it's still hurting many. Yours sincerely, M. So I put out that letter to them guys, straight from him sending that message, a public reply, which I'm sure he saw. And just to show you guys quickly the screenshots, obviously at the bottom it's got David Mahoney's message to me, which you've already seen. And then here you've got the evidence and his fundraiser he set up. But yeah, David Mahoney is organising a fundraiser for the Hidden King interviews.
150 grand, you know.
You know, yeah. And he says he spent 50 grand on it. And like you say, you're not sure that 50 grand is all him. I doubt it as well. I'm not doubting that he didn't invest heavily in it. And I think that's part of I'm pissed off. So there you go. There is David Mahoney's fundraiser that's clearly been set up. Here you have Digital Warriors, you know, benosy.com, Digital Warrior Productions, and their donate option, which I'm sure many people have money with.
Well, we know they did, isn't it?
I know they did. Just quickly, here's just one of many of Greg's responses talking about me. Just saying I'm a liar, really. Here is Greg saying that he hadn't been taking donations. Obviously, I've got so much proof of Greg taking donations. But here on his official website is his donation to help with legal costs and website and video hosting. Right. And here you go. Here's just an example of Greg kicking everyone in the teeth that donated to him and saying, no, I promised I'd spend it on the documents, but we needed a new server. But don't worry, you can still give me more money. And it just so happens that the server was the same price as the documents. Funny that. So yeah.
How does it only have a 3-year lifespan on it? Like,
saying that his server was being attacked by the deep state. He needed a new server.
Like what? I beg we go. Like this is what I mean about every single one of their claims here. You could go and try and find what server the standard retail price cost £2,700, because I bet it's a pretty specific fucking price, really, for a pretty specific item. Not that you would be able to find one, because it's obviously bullshit, but the point is there's so many claims, it's unreal, and none of them have any foundation. Like, where the fuck is the server? Who knows, who out of you old fuckers knows how to fucking use a server and shit? Like, David don't even know how to fly a drone on his own or take down shovels. Like, mate, it's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? There's no fucking way that Charlie knows how to do it. Like, who? Jack Kidd, maybe we don't know what he's capable of. He's like a dark little ghost in this, and we don't know what the fuck tricks he's got up his sleeve. Maybe he's like the technical wizard.
Yeah, maybe he's behind the drone flying.
Isn't it?
Anyway, moving on. You know, even though that they've silenced their platforms from any information that doesn't fall out of their mouth kind of reaching, obviously some of their fans still comment and say, because our videos will still get around, other information still gets around, no matter how much they try and silence people and make it so that only their own narrative gets looked at. People are still seeing it, and people that are really believing him are kind of getting angry with people like myself, because they're like, don't burst my bubble, you know. I want this to be true. Don't ruin it for me, you spoil sport.
Yeah, I've had some savage ones, mate. Like, people really, really. I mean, I got tagged in some comment that was going on somewhere in Facebook, and big up Sharon Harris. She's always on that shit, but she is. Yeah, she tagged me in this little conversation that was going on, much the same as this, where it's copyright maybe, but they was like, yeah, let's go and report his channel for promoting gang violence and drugs and fucking all this other mad shit. Like, let's get him copyright struck. And they was trying it. YouTube told him to fuck off. Same with David, actually. He's copyright struck me at least 7-8 times, I'd say. And YouTube has told him to do one directly like 6 or 7 times, man. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I've had stuff exactly the same where these people that are, again, for some reason, whether they've spent a lot of their money, you know, whether they've gone to the donate page and fucking used a lot of their jar and banged 100 quid against it, thinking this is about to come back to me tenfold because he's about to be the king. Yeah. We're about to go through a financial reset, so he's going to fucking give me a shitload of money in a little mini palace somewhere in the country. I don't know what they were thinking or why they're so heavily invested in it, whether it's pure hope and whether it's like, yes, this is our savior, this is the one, this is it. I don't know what it is, whether, again...
I think that some of it might be financial investment, but some of it might be emotional investment. Like, these people have believed this for months, that there's a king...
Either way, it's pure mad ego, man. And yeah, like, some of the shit that they're saying, mad hurtful, bro, but I don't watch that still. But it's just how crazy the attacks are, like, but some of the things that they're saying and the way they go about wanting to attack you on the basis that you don't agree with them. Do you know what I mean? Not like they're not... I mean, I haven't said anything that's bad, other than like the joke title with David, which, again, you're not really gonna get butthurt or something. I mean, I don't know his past, whether he's been
proper sensitive, man.
Yeah, it's mad over.
Just a joke. It wasn't even offensive. Like,
no, that's what I mean. I haven't said anything in any of my videos that are offensive. I've provided the Ghislaine Maxwell link again. Do you know what I mean? That was much like the Coconut Grove thing. I'm not saying that Greg is best mates with her, that they've gone on trafficking missions together, and that they fucking organised massages together, and Greg is also the co-author of her fucking diary. I'm not alluding to anything of the sort. Jack Kidd's sister owns a business of which she is a director. There was like 8 directors, 4 of them has resigned or some shit. There's like 4 people on there. One of them is Jack Kidd's sister. One of them is Jack Kidd himself. One of them, Ghislaine Maxwell, and one of them, someone else, bro. So there's not many people that are involved. And Jack Kidd is directly involved in a production of the King documentary. It's a pretty big...
It's a pretty big connection.
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't saying anything, again, that's offensive or that isn't true or that isn't out there in the public domain and isn't easy for anyone else to access. It's just quite an important thing to note.
So like I say, he's the brother of famous model Jodie Kidd. And he also apparently seems to have another sister. Gemma Kidd Makeup Limited. Big up to Paul for bringing it to my attention. But like I say, yeah, this is where things get a little bit sticky. And yeah, I'll just read and we'll come to some conclusions another later date. So we've got 10 officers and 4 resignations. Crocker, Mark Howard. Grace Fodor. Jack Edward Kidd, who lives in the West Indies, Barbados to be precise. Was a polo player. We've then got Gemma Kidd, of course. She's the director. 1974, appointed in 2005. British makeup artist. And then this. Wow. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? This is Jack Kidd, the King, and the Janae Maxwell connection. She is a director in Jack Kidd's sister's makeup company. So yeah, I mean, I'm throwing around no accusations, but the link's there, and I think all of us, everyone can agree that's extremely fucking weird.
And for some reason, these people, they want to see you fucking...
Don't want to hear it.
It's mad.
And again, you know, so this guy here, you know, he says, "Oh, what about that guy on YouTube, M Seeker of Truth? He's using your videos, talking shit over them. Copyright, maybe?" So, you know, he's wanting him to kind of attack my channel too. And
you really love Scotland as well, bro.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't know.
And, so David says, but it's tricky. It could use a certain amount without being illegal. Anyway, people with any brains can see through that. For the record, I asked him to contact me and he didn't. Actually, David, I put out a public letter, which I've just read to you. Shows how much of a backbone he has. He's an unknown guy who's never done anything, trying to get famous by being a deep state supporter. I do not support the deep state. Okay, this is just unsubstantiated claim. Just because I don't believe in Greg Hallets does not make me a deep state agent. But you know,
it's not like a fucking football team anyway. How do you support the deep state? Like, you've got the deep state shirt with your name on the back. Like, what the fuck you meant you to support the deep state?
it bothers me. And where do you think he'll end? Lol. Well, you know. So anyway, this is just pure evasion again. He knows he can't stop.
I mean, that's super funny that you said copyright is tricky, because when he was attacking me, he certainly didn't have that knowledge, bro.
He does now. He's tried and tested, and it's not worked out for him, and he's looked like an idiot because he's told people, "Don't worry, we're taking down MC's videos, and don't worry, we're taking down Justice's videos." And then they managed to get a couple of successful between us copyright infringement, and then we put them back up with fair use policy on them or whatnot. You know, it's just, it is tricky because you can. I mean, and why shouldn't anyone be able to take claims that people are making and then talk about them and analyse them? It should be freedom of expression and speech.
Well, there is a slightly serious element to this, and this is the attacks on my channel from these guys that just don't like what I say, being little butthurt girls about it, babies, little baby men. So yeah, YouTube copyright infringement, they're trying to take my down my channel, you know. I get 3 copyright strikes and I'm out of here. So YouTube don't really want to rip down my channel by the looks of it, really, just straight away. But these guys certainly are out to see me deplatformed, as Brian Rose would say. Hello, we've received a copyright infringement notification, blah 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 blah, about this video. Mahoney's phony baloney. He is an absolute boner. So yeah, please be advised, as possible, the copyright owner will approach you directly to request removal or take other action, like legal action he's taken against me. Haha. But here we go. That's his reply. July the 24th, that's my birthday, you know, man's trying to deplatform me on my birthday. What a heartless dude. 24th July, hello, my mistake. I thought this was a different video. This person took a video I made and slowed it down to make it seem sinister. He implies I am involved in fraud, and I have not given this person my authorization to use my image in my video on his personal channel. It's inflammatory and clearly an act of copyright law in the UK. I asked him to remove it and he threatened me. Many thanks. Again, David G. Mahoney, blah 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 blah. But one, I haven't threatened him. I really want to see what evidence he has of these so-called threats, what he considers to be a threat, because yeah, this is like an online audit where he doesn't understand the law and it's just calling everything aggressive and threatening. Go home, get off the platform, you're not allowed to speak about my content because I'm doing it for free and giving you hope. But yeah, I haven't given him permission or authorization to use my image in my video on his personal channel. It's inflammatory and clearly an act of copyright in the law in the UK. I mean, that doesn't make sense as well. Okay, this is a guy that's meant to be investigating all these legal documents and understanding all of this stuff to, you know, be able to relay the information to you accurately in order that you can discern what he provides to you, make the best judgment, right? And he says it's inflammatory and clearly an act of copyright law in the UK. An act of copyright law in the UK. It's an act of copyright law in the UK. That doesn't make any linguistical sense. Doesn't make sense. And then we have this one, again, another copyright claim. This is from YouTube. Beginning of copy of notice. Hello. Thank you for your message. However, we remain concerned that your copyright notification is not valid for some or all of the videos identified in your notification. As a result, the content will remain live on YouTube. Sincerely, the YouTube team. So, yeah, suck it, David. Hello. Again, I'll explain. 1. This person has used... I'll try to do a little David Mahoney accent, right? Again, I'll explain. This person has used my image... Yeah, this person has used of my videos and my image in producing his videos without my permission. This is copyright infringement under UK law, using my work and an image. He's used my images and work to promote his theory of fraud and other shady operations against myself and others in the video. This is inflammatory and slander. He took one of my Twitter uploads, one video from my YouTube channel and another video from a partner site, Charlie Ward, and used it as a threat against us. 4. Look at the title of his video. That's my company channel, so he's using my name to promote his channel. Riding my wave, as they say. I would like my work that he has plagiarized removed from his channel. David, sent from my iPhone. And again, the notice. Your copyright notification is not valid, rude boy. Stop it. Stop it. Stop your foolishness. Read the law. Stop your foolishness and stop trying to deplatform me, you absolute baby man. You man baby. Big up Tyrant Finder as well. This is extremely hilarious. Are you sure I can share it to my YouTube channel? That's what I'm saying. They're telling you to share the film. They are encouraging you to share the film on your platform, just not to criticize it in any possible way. That's not how this works, unfortunately, David.
On top of that, actually, because of course, like I agree. You know, I mean, if we're analysing things and commentating on it and stuff, you know, it's all good. But
as long as you comment on it, because I don't mind someone takes this video and then goes and pulls this video apart. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Yeah,
no, of course. I mean, even taking my original videos and mirroring them, sometimes, as long as people ask and put the link in the description and that, it's whatever. But other people have different perceptions of that. It's whatever for each different person and their video. And obviously, the law is the law, right? But this guy specifically said, and it's on one of my videos. I'll try and remember which one it is and send you the thing to cut in, right? But he said specifically, you can take this, use this, put it on your channels.
Oh, I know where that is. You've put it about like 10 times, repeat. So, make a point.
Exactly, you know what I mean?
But we encourage you to download this video, this film, share it, download it, use it on your channels. Share it, download it, use it on your channels. Share it, download it, use it on your channels.
Share it, download it, use it on your channels.
He told us to take it and use it. It's not like, how are you going to be like, right, you can use it, yeah? Take it, rip this whole thing, put the whole thing on your channels. Just don't criticize it and think about it and talk on it at all. Do you know what I mean? Just don't critically analyze it.
Just only
criticize it in any way, because then I'm going to be angry and you're not allowed to do that. It's fucking bollocks.
Well, I just wanted to make a quick segue to talk about. There's a video of a child falling
out of Buckingham Palace window.
And I believed it at first as well for a split second. And I looked into it, and it is easily debunked. And I've got a video on that. I'll leave a link to that video in the description. But I just thought, look, this is the last time. I'd already filmed the footage way back in July when I was at Buckingham Palace debunking Greg. And I thought, you know what? While I'm here, I will prove that video is a fake while I'm here. So I did that.
It was a long while back as well. I can vouch for that as well, man. I remember we were speaking. It was a long while ago, man.
That was a while ago. And so I just had this footage laying there for one day, but I was busy making these videos about Greg. Anyway, there was the final straw when they all started talking about how this is real. I suppose you're going to say that this is not real then. And I thought, well, yeah, it's not real. Just look into it for 5 seconds and you will see it's not real. So I was like, you know what? Bugger it. I'll make the video. So I went and made the video that morning, sent it out, and put it in the comments. But it didn't reach this comment thread. And David Mahoney didn't know that I was lurking in the shadows. And I saw him say this: seriously, a spoof? It's from a Swedish tourist personal recording. How are you going to spoof that? So he's supporting that this video is real, which is clearly not. And if you look into it for more than a couple of minutes, and this is a guy that you're supposed to be trusting, knows what's going on, you know, he's in cahoots with this Greg Hallet, you know, wanting to be king, supposed to know what's going on with the royals, supposed to have the knowledge, you know, you're supposed to be supporting him as knowing what's going on, right? And he thinks this is real when it's not. It's clearly not. You can see yourself if you look for 5 seconds, right? So anyway, I replied, then I tagged David Mahoney and said, please don't support yet more disinformation. Actually look into it properly. Here, I've broken it down for you guys, and then I left a link. That's the video there. You can see it on my channel. I'll leave the link in the description. Yeah, I said that. Within a minute, he had taken his comment down and was gone. So, yeah.
Screenshots are a bitch.
Yeah, it was just an example of, come on, guys, you guys are following this guy. You would follow him into a fiery pit, yeah, and yet you can so easily, you know, I pulled him up there, and he was like, yeah, not having that argument. He's probably right.
Well, this is what I was saying, going back to the start, you know, about people coming into these realms of thought at different times, and David himself has made it very evident, whether it's to, you know, make himself seem more human and more approachable to the people coming into it and not be too high up when he's, you know, chatting his bullshit. But he admitted he's only just come into these realms of thought. He come into it at the start of lockdown thinking, oh, something's not quite right. He has no historical background, no architectural, archaeological background, no anything. He has no knowledge about anything in these realms. And you can tell from his investigation and his whole investigative approach. Not only is he unprofessional, he's just totally incapable of actually doing these things. You know, Charlie Ward's like, yeah, I've sent my guys to go and investigate this. There is no investigation. They have no knowledge of any of these things. So yeah, it's no surprise that they just promote these random falsities and little psyops as absolute truth. You know, whatever to bring the herd in.
Yeah, whatever to get support. So then we talked about this week where it all kind of fell apart for them, and we said, you know, we touched on David had made some videos where he clearly seemed frustrated. They shut off all the comments and posts on their things on their fan sites that week. So the big thing for them that was kind of like the big final straw was Charlie Freak. Well, Charlie Freak had put out a post with a tweet from John Galt, who is someone big in the Q movement. Some people are even saying he's JFK Jr. But anyway, this guy had said, you know, at the end of the day, who cares who Greg Hallet is? Who cares? Like, at the end of the day, do you guys want to carry on being ruled by some guy? And Charlie Freak had kind of supported that as well. And he's got a big following. I don't know how many, but, you know, he's got a large following. A lot of people take stock in what he says as well. So that was a major blow for them. And David Mahoney looked like he had a few wines. You know, he was slow. He got onto a video in his car and just had this whole spiel about Charlie Freak doesn't even live in the UK, he doesn't even live in the US, he lives in Mexico, and he starts waving his passport around. He hasn't got one of these.
I've been spending all my day dealing with these issues that have come from a video that was released yesterday and a couple of Twitter statements. So I wanted to address that and make things very clear for people about what your choices are and where you take your information from. So I'm going to just talk about some facts, and I think it's important to talk about facts because the facts are the doorway of truth. That's what they are, okay? So Charlie Freak, I subscribe to his channel. I like his work. I think he does some brilliant videos. He's got some great intel. But you know what he doesn't have? And this is where it gets really interesting and important. He doesn't have one of those. He doesn't have a British passport. And this is what it's all about. Charlie Freak, as far as I can tell, lives in Mexico. So he doesn't even live in the US. He's not a British citizen. He's nothing to do with the Commonwealth or the 14 territories that go with it. So what we're fighting for now is our freedom and our right to be sovereign. But people saying things like, you can be a sovereign, everybody's a sovereign. You know, you're not English, you don't understand because you don't have a British passport. So that's why I'm passionate about what I do, okay? So making statements, telling us what to do. If you want to take your advice from a man that lives the other side of the world, I don't even know if he's ever been to the UK. It's probably doubtful. Not a lot of people have, especially Americans, they don't own a passport. He does because he lives in Mexico. So, Charlie, if you watch this, utter respect, man. I love your work, but I think it was reckless to start saying, to dictate what the English people want to do with their lives and their choices. So, if you don't like the content of what we're doing, leave. I have absolutely no problem with you leaving. Go live your life, worship whatever God you want, subscribe to whatever channels you want, watch whatever TV stations you want. But please, don't say and send emails to me and messages to me trying to force me into, making decisions about what do I think of this and that. It doesn't work that way. Follow your own intuition, your own instinct, and you'll find the answers. And that's it. Again, let me leave you with that last one thing just to think about. If you have one of these, you need to listen to what we're saying and not what some American living in Mexico is saying, okay? Peace out, as they say. Have a good week.
And then he kind of says, who are you going to listen to? That guy over in Mexico, or you're going to listen to someone with one of these? Because this is the time where you should be listening to people where it matters to. Passports. But if you're going down that route, me and you are quite clearly British. We're quite clearly, English. We have very big interest in if someone's going to rule over our country, right? We've been putting out these videos for a while, just because we've not got a biggest platform as Charlie Freak and things, and David Mahoney and these guys actually even. Doesn't mean that what we're saying you shouldn't take stock in, or you shouldn't listen to, or you shouldn't, and it's all about whoever's got the bigger channel. They think it's all about whoever's got the bigger channel is the people you should listen to, and it's not. The most popular horse doesn't always win the race, and sometimes you've got to back the kind of dark horses with that have got the better information on the day, and so. If that even makes
big up to everyone that is subscribed to our channel, because we do have some really, really good followers and have some amazing interactions with some people. But you're correct. It's like, again, it's consensus. It's consensus and a lack of personal responsibility. These guys seem to be in control. I mean, I've had people I have solutions to the majority in my head. Obviously, I'm not out fucking creating an army or some shit, so don't you intelligence forces be watching this thinking I'm doing some shit that you haven't quite caught on to yet, because I'm not, alright? But yeah, it's very consensus based, like you say, it's very popularized based. I personally have solutions to the majority of problems that I see within the world today. I don't speak about them on every video because I keep my stuff quite concise and to the point as best I can. Everything interlinks and interacts and is codependent in its own ways, and every conspiracy and thing overlaps, which is why I thought in the first place this was even worth touching on, because some random dude that looks even the way that Greg does, but he looks like Satan with that fucking stupid goatee and his weird little slick back hair and his little sweat on and shit, man. He looks like Satan, bruv. So me even wanting to put time into it is like, it was iffy, but it's worth it because all of these things do interlink, and there was a lot of people. There weren't as many when I first jumped in it. It wasn't as big a thing, and luckily somehow a lot of my subscribers randomly happened to know about it and stuff, and people joined in and whatnot. But it's like, yeah, the whole thing with the consensus and that, and these guys that have big platforms and stuff, it's all well and good if they can back it up. But in fact, actually, to be honest, most of the people that I know that have had big platforms don't have platforms at all anymore, And if they do, then they have to keep making new ones. And they might have an all right following, but it's not very big for very long because they get shut down real quick. People don't get to speak truths in these realms really very freely, which is why I don't touch a lot of subjects, and I speak about things in a way that will make people come to me and be like, oh, well, what's your solution then? Because Charlie Ward, you know, seems to be offering them, or the rest of these guys with the king, the whole story, you know, they're offering what seems to be a simple, concise solution. This dude is going to be king. There's going to be a financial reset. He's probably got a load of gold stashed away and is just going to give it to all of you supporters. And luckily for you, you know about it first. So it's all going to be good. Me, on the other hand, I'm just sat in my bedroom or in the front room chatting shit into my mobile, and they're like, yeah, well, you ain't got a solution, bro. So get out of here. These guys are actually telling me that everything's going to be okay and that we're going to be fine in a few months, and that all this COVID stuff and all the lockdown is actually done, so that all these pedophiles and stuff will get locked up and will get fucking their heads chopped off and shit. So you just wait for it to be on TV, and in the meantime, shut up. And then you get into it and break it down with most of these people, yeah, and it's always the same thing. We'll just wait and see. We'll just wait and see.
Yeah.
And I keep saying it.
Very good point.
It's pointless doing any sort of research or knowing anything about anything if you're just going to wait and see. You might as well just carry on watching BBC 24/7 or whatever it is you was doing before you woke up.
That's it. I mean, that is the general stance. Very good point you make. Because it's like these people, like you say, because they've been offered a solution, they're going to back these people, and not the people that say, guys, these people are lying to you with this solution. No, they've got a solution. What you know, you've not said anything that makes us think that I should back you instead, because you're not going to put someone on the throne that's going to save us. They are, or they're telling us that they are. And that's just wrong, man. That's just think about it, you know, think about it properly, and don't just put any old Joe on the, because that's the other thing that annoys me as well, is, oh, well, it'd be better than the old, you know, the old monarchy, you know, they've done horrible things, this guy seems better. You can't just guess that someone's going to be better and put them on a throne because you don't like who is on the throne.
I hope they're going to be better or have the sense. I mean, the amount of people that have come to me have been like, Charlie Ward's such a lovely grandfatherly type figure. And the same thing with Greg, the amount of like old birds and that, they're like, Greg's such a lovely, handsome fellow. He'd be a wonderful king. He'd be such a great king, you know. All the actual reptilian pedo bastards we got in power, now they're horrible. Greg would be wicked in charge, you know. He'd all chuck us gold and we'd all be fucking just getting showered in golden flakes and stuff all the time and not having to work at all. And it's like, you lot are fucked. You don't think this guy's gonna have you in chains, like randomly licking his feet clean and shit and like weird stuff like that? Like, this guy is twisted. The rest of them are twisted. Like, the whole story is mad. It's, again, everything's intertwined and it all goes back to personal responsibility, and the only real savior we have is within ourselves. You know, governance comes from within. There is one innate morality, and if you're an adult that doesn't know how to behave themselves or conduct themselves properly, then that's something that we as a society will have to deal with. But in terms of having someone rule over you, I mean, not a lot of people as well are saying, oh, he doesn't want to rule over you like that, he doesn't want to do this, he doesn't want to do that. The guy is claiming to be the king of the fucking world, right? He's not just talking about he's not just talking about claiming the throne and stealing it off the monarchy because they haven't replied to his letters. Like, I didn't know about common law before he started chatting shit, right? It's not just that. He's the king of Israel. He's king of kings, lord of lords, elect of... He is the most high Christ incarnate as man come again in his kingly character. He is claiming the whole lot. The whole lot. So people that are telling me that he doesn't want to rule, I'm not saying he wants to enslave everybody, but he most certainly wants to take the position of authority.
He wants the power
over the all, you know, in the new world system. And whether he, again, I don't know what his motive is. I don't know if he's suffering from some serious schizophrenia type, narcissistic, psychotic, sociopathic disorder. I'm not a mental health doctor type person like that. Maybe Dr. Charles Ward could help him. I don't know. Probably not.
His fake PhD.
Making it way worse. But my point is, I don't know if this guy is real ill, but I know that David isn't in that way, and I know that Charlie isn't in that way. And I think Jack Kidd, obviously being a victim of fraud before, I won't comment on him. He might just be another victim of fraud. But these other guys that are supporting him in his claims without really challenging him, if he really, really believes that he's about to take, do you know what I mean? Like, we're making these videos and that, bro. But in a serious note, if this stuff doesn't go to plan, which is clearly not, he could be losing his shit somewhere, like really tripping, like thinking that all this stuff was real and all these people, these hundreds of thousands of people that were backing him on Charlie Wall's channel. I don't know what his mental state's like. I'm not his friend, so my care for it is minimal because he's caused a lot of people damage. But the people that are supporting him and are backing him, such as David and Charlie, really need to go and just check on him and make sure he's all right, really, because if I don't know how invested he is in it. I don't know what his aims are. I don't know if he's trying to trick us, whether it's another full distraction, or whether he really believes in it. Because if he does really, really believe in it, it's not going to end well for him. It's not going to end well anyway. But
I feel bad. I agree, and as I said before in other videos, I'm a mental health advocate, and obviously my main concern is for all the thousands of people that are having their mental health affected by a deception. However, that doesn't mean, you know, I've heard people kind of that also believe that it's a deception and a scam say, oh, well, you know, off with his head, and I want to see harm come to him. I don't want to see harm come to him. I don't hate this man. I just do not like this information, and I do not like people being fooled, okay, and people being scammed, right? But that doesn't mean I want something bad to happen to this man. You know, I feel that, yeah, he could be mentally disturbed. He could have real mental health issues. And if that's the case, then what needs to happen is he needs to find the right help. So he needs to be sectioned under the Mental Health Act and locked up in a mental health facility.
Yeah, I mean, if he is doing what he says he's doing, which is fulfilling biblical prophecy, and he is who he says he is, Christ, the Messiah, then he can't die until certain prophecies are fulfilled. You know, that's a position that is ordained by the Most High Creator, as according to his own little story there. So I did on Twitter, because he wouldn't address me. There's no way I'm getting an interview with him. Charlie Ward's never addressed me. David's totally madly dissed me. Jack Kidd's obviously nowhere to be seen with his face or nothing. But yeah, I offered him out for a duel. I challenged him to a duel, and I would have probably done that, you know, if he'd have accepted. I would have probably done it, because obviously, according to him, he can't really die until he's ascended the throne, so it shouldn't really be a problem. I would have probably done that, but for the rest of them, yeah, I don't really want to see him come to harm, to be honest, or anything like that. You know, it's a mad scam, it's a mad con, it's not cool. David, I'd definitely fight David, guys. But yeah,
look out, aren't they martial arts specialists or something? Or that's Lee Dawson, I think.
Yeah, no, Lee, I probably wouldn't fight Lee still, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't want to fight anyone. I'm all about truth, right? And it's all about truth. Now, the one last thing I want to sort of go into before we wrap this up is I watched one of your most recent videos that you brought out. And what it was a commentary and a critical analysis on the Hidden King Part 4 Portugal. Ooh, bugger me. I was laughing the whole fucking way through. This from start to finish, please, guys, I'll leave the link in the description below. Please watch it. It's well worth your time. I think the documentary is only about 26 minutes long, and it's had to have been stop-started so many times for this man to catch his breath, to put his head in his hands, shake, and go, what are you even saying? And then say, where's the evidence? Because that's all that you keep repeating. And fair enough, rightly so. Like I said in my Lineage Lies video, where is the evidence and proof? Okay, so you're saying all these things. Where is the evidence and proof? And in the end of that video, I even touched on the Portugal video and said, look, you just rewrite the fucking Bible. Where is the evidence and truth? And you went and meticulously pulled that, and hats off to you, man. You went and pulled apart that video step by step. And so I won't go into too much, because people, you need to go and watch the video. But the main message of the whole video is, and it's a stop starter, but every time it stops, mate, you'll laugh. Just these honest reactions throughout, but near enough all of it is, where have you come up with that? Okay, just show me reference somewhere in a document.
Show me anything, just
anywhere. Give me some sort of reference point to information. Give me some sort of proof to your claims. So that's the main thing about it. I'll just quickly say, there is other things in there that just show that the whole video is kind of faked as it's put together. So there's a bit where obviously they're doing this Zoom call with Greg, and it's all scripted, and obviously there's camera shots going on, and they're clearly not looking at the laptop at one point and talking, and then it's showing the laptop, and it's clearly like a real laptop, but then they've superimposed the laptop, a video of him talking. Like they're not actually
weird editing, crazy little things. That's the I mean, again, like, I don't know if people want to watch that first or watch the documentary first, whatever, but when you're watching it, there is so many little things, whether it's just the cameras and the way that they do things, like the bit where they're going climbing, and somehow David's gone back up to the top to drop down 2 shovels on a rope. Like, they couldn't have just walked with the 2 shovels, and it's that far, and he's gone all the way back up. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And like, there's so many different things, but
it's just watch the video, because we could be on here talking about it for ages. There's so much wrong.
There's so much. It's a gold mine, and when you've got someone like Justice talking about it, it's a gold mine of comedy as well. It was comedy gold. So thank you for that video, and people, please watch it. I'm going to wrap this up because it was longer than I thought, but we're definitely... It's been a minute.
It's been good, man. We have to definitely get back on camera soon.
100%, bro. I'll have you on. Wicked. Be good.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that, and we'll talk about some other things that we nearly went down a tangent with, and we had to kind of rein ourselves back in. But man, it's been wicked. Can't wait to get this video out. Thank you everyone for watching. Justice and M Seeker of Truth. Follow our channels, check them out, and till we see you again. Take care.
Love peoples. Big up, man. Respect.
Big up.
Peace.